8 other Filipinos hurt in Beirut blast. Palace downplays spike in virus cases. Bayanihan to recover bill approved on second reading. MNLF still seeking own state. Face shields now required for all passengers. Agri post gains despite quarantine. Dutch cyclist fights for life. Cloudy skies and rain showers today. Good morning, I am Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Today is Thursday, August 6, and now the news. The Department of Foreign Affairs has confirmed that 8 Filipinos were injured and 12 were still missing from the massive blast that struck Beirut in Lebanon, killing 2 workers from the Philippines. The injured and missing are mostly seafarers and household staff. The explosion was reportedly caused by 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate stored in a warehouse. At least 100 fatalities were initially reported, while more than 4,000 were hurt. Presidential spokesman Harry Roque conveyed the government's condolences to the families of all those affected by the blast. Labor Secretary Silvestre Bello III assured assistance to the families of the affected OFWs. Bello said the families of the 2 Filipinos who died will get at least $15,000 as death insurance and a bereavement benefit worth $120,000 if they would turn out to be documented workers. An estimated 33,000 Filipinos are in Lebanon. About 75% of them are based in Beirut. Meantime, Malacanang on Wednesday allayed concerns on the continuous surge of the coronavirus disease 2019 cases in the Philippines, as 6,352 new cases were recorded on Tuesday. The figure, which surpassed the 5,032 cases recorded last Sunday, was the 5th time the Philippines set a new highest single-day jump in the number of cases. Still, presidential spokesman Harry Roque said other countries are also seeing a spike of new infections. Roque said it was understandable that cases continue to increase because of the country's increased testing capacity, now at 32,000 tests per day. The number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the country as of Wednesday grew by 3,462 new cases to 115,980. 9 died from the disease on Wednesday, bringing the death toll to 2,123, while 222 recovered to bring the total recoveries to 66,270. Tribune News on Q will be back after a short break.
Araneta City, home to the country's first indoor shopping mall, the world's original Thrilla, and the first ever Bini Bini pageant. Now a place for your first win, your first catch, your first home, your first big break, your first date, and even your first love. Araneta City, the city of firsts.
Ikaw ba ay may pack na cooking skills at bonggang-bonggang level of singing performance? Kung oo, baka ikaw na ang hinahanap na Phoenix Super LPG Calderoque Royalty. Para sumali, sundin lamang ang nasa website ng Phoenix Super LPG Calderoque at i-upload ang inyong best video na kumakanta habang nagluluto. I-like at i-follow ang Phoenix Super LPG page. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. Sarap pala magluto. Sali na!
Meantime, the House of Representatives passed on second reading the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act, which seeks additional powers for President Rodrigo Duterte to address the COVID-19 pandemic. The Bayanihan 2, or House Bill 6953, is among the priority bills Duterte identified in his fifth State of the Nation address. It was approved through voice voting during a plenary session on Wednesday. The bill provides 162 billion pesos as funding for COVID-19 response and recovery efforts. The proposed budget includes 51 billion pesos to be infused as new capital for government's financial institutions to expand credit. About 20 billion pesos will be allocated as low-interest credit for the agriculture sector, and another 20 billion pesos will cover cash for work programs. A total of 10 billion pesos will fund programs of the Department of Transportation to assist the critically impacted businesses and displaced workers. In other news, the Moro National Liberation Front is pushing for the creation of its own state that includes Sabah and Sarawak, territories currently under Malaysia. Lawyer Rexy Bugaring, an MNLF senior legal advisor, disclosed on Wednesday that MNLF founding chairman Nur Misawari will submit to President Rodrigo Duterte his proposal to create the Bangsamoro Federal State. Misawari included Sabah and Sarawak in the Bangsamoro region as these territories were parts of the Sultanate of Sulu long before Malaysia became a sovereign country, Bugaring said. Bugaring added that the former rebel group plans to elevate the Sabah claim of the Sultanate of Sulu to the Organization of Islamic Cooperation or OIC. The OIC may resolve the dispute over Sabah or refer it to the United Nations, Bugaring said. The move would pave the way for the inclusion of Sabah in the proposed federal government of the Philippines advocated by President Rodrigo Duterte. Sabah and Sarawak are part of the 13 founding states of the Malaysian Federal Constitution monarchy. Chibi News and Q will be back after these reminders.
Nais po naming humingi ng paumanhin sa anumang pag-aalalang naidulot ng ating bills ngayong Mayo at Hunyo. Di po namin inasahan ang naging hirap para sa ating lahat dulot ng COVID-19 pandemic.
Pero nakapagbasa na kami ng Metro, kaya ang May at June bills ay may actual meter reading na ng inyong konsumo. Ito ay maaaring bayaran ng installment depende sa inyong konsumo noong February 2020. Kung wala sa bahay o sarado ang shop noong ECQ, makikita ang adjustment sa inyong bills ng Mayo o Hunyo. Kung nabayaran na ang inyong estimated March at April bills, pwede itong i-refund sa aming business centers or i-apply sa susunod na bills. Para naman sa mga di nakatanggap ng bill noong Mayo, huwag pong mabigla kung mataas ang ating bill sa Hunyo dahil sakop nito ang inyong nakonsumo noong ECQ. Pero para makagaan, 1/4 lang muna nito ang kailangan bayaran. Ang balanse, pwedeng i-installment.
At good news, bumaba ang overall electricity rates ng 2 centavos per kilowatt hour ngayong Hunyo. 2 buwan nang magkasunod ang pagbaba ng rates. Hanggang sa susunod na Meralco Advisory.
Still in COVID-related news, passengers using any mode of public transportation will be required to wear face shields, aside from masks, effective August 15 to reduce the risk of transmitting the dreaded virus. The Department of Transportation has ordered the mandatory wearing of face shields for all passengers in areas where public transportation is allowed. The directive also applies to the aviation, maritime, and railway sectors all over the country. Transportation Chief Arthur Tugadi said the order should not be viewed by the commuting public as another burden, but as a serious health being addressed. The face shields should cover the whole face as a redundancy measure complementing the wearing of masks. Health authorities say the use of face shields and masks reduces the emission of respiratory droplets. Meanwhile, despite mobility and logistics issues across the supply chain due to the COVID-19 lockdowns, the country's agricultural output grew by 0.5% in the second quarter, an improvement from the 1.2% contraction in the previous quarter. The Philippine Statistics Authority on Wednesday reported that the farm sector recovered during April to June period with productivity gains recorded in crops and fisheries. In its quarterly report, the PSA said crops registered a 5% growth in production. It has a 53.7% share in the total agricultural output. Production went up for palay by 7.1% and corn by 15.4%. At current prices, the value of agricultural production amounted to 439.8 billion pesos. This was 4.6% higher than the previous year's level. According to the PSA, the farm sector contributes about a tenth of the country's gross domestic product and a fourth of the country's jobs. Tribune News on Q will be back after a short break.
In the days ahead, we need to lean on the values that make us a great company, the Malasakit, for which we are known, and the understanding that, as San Miguel, we stand for something far greater than ourselves, that we have the responsibility to extend a hand to those who most need it. It is our sense of duty and obligation, pagkakaisa and malasakit, that will see us through these difficult times. Kwentong Malasakit.
In sports, a Dutch cyclist was fighting for his life on Wednesday after he was thrown into and over a barrier at 80 kilometers per hour near the finish line of the opening stage of the Tour of Poland. Footage showed 23-year-old Fabio Jacobsen racing elbow to elbow with fellow Dutchman Dylan Groenewegen before being squeezed into the security wall, somersaulting over the barriers and colliding with a photographer. Jacobsen's life is directly threatened, Tour Dr. Barbara Dershina told Polsat Sport. Groenewegen went to win the stage but was later disqualified, with the stricken Jacobsen declared the winner. Other cyclists were injured in a pile-up as they tried to avoid each other after the crash of Jacobsen. Meantime, a low-pressure area was estimated at 435 kilometers west-southwest of Puerto Princesa City, Palawan as of 3 a.m. today. It is possible that the LPA may exit the Philippine area of responsibility today, but its show is expected to cause cloudy skies, scattered rain showers and thunderstorms in the Bicol region, Mimaropa, Visayas, and Mindanao. Metro Manila and a large part of Luzon are expected to have fair weather with cloudy skies and isolated rain showers in the afternoon and evening. Temperature in Metro Manila is forecast to be from 25 to 32 degrees Celsius, 26 to 30 degrees Celsius in Legazpi City, 24 to 34 degrees Celsius in Tuguegarao City, and 17 to 25 degrees Celsius in Baguio City. Tribune News on Q will be back after these reminders.
With these cell sites, it affords us better cooperation and communication with the outside world, because it is vital for FU and RMF to have this. We are now dependent on this cellular signal, and it has helped us a lot. Connectivity is not a problem because we allowed these cell sites to prevail and to be on our roof deck and our helipad. Hindi tayo mawalan ng signal sa lahat ng rooms namin dahil may cell site tayo sa taas. It's one of our major advantages. I think that's the greatest decision that I was a part of, Because if not, we would probably be in a worse case right now. I'm thankful that we allowed these cell sites to be installed. I'd like to think and hope that all hospitals have that. We have not had any case of cancer regarding cell sites. As a matter of fact, we employ many cell sites and many boosters inside the hospital. For us, it has saved lives. I think with this new normal, we have realized that we are more dependent on this technology. Cell sites, if not connectivity, are a must.
And that's it for the stories this morning. Catch the latest news on our website, tribune.net.ph, and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarsito emoticons are also available on our community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join. Again, this is Sandy Locos and you're watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning and have a nice day.